Welcome to VYAPT Growth Series, a platform to know about various growth prospects of various sectors of the industry across the globe. Myself, Pankaj Pandey, and my guest today is O'Neill Dissanayake, who is the CEO Asia Pacific of Socomec Group. Our talks would be in reference to power management solutions today. Join me to welcome O'Neill. Hi, good morning, O'Neill.
Good morning, and it's my pleasure to be with you, Pankaj.
Thank you so much for being in our growth series today. And in our growth series, we'll be having four curiosities. I'll start with the first curiosity. And O'Neill, this first curiosity is around the growth prospects of the industry, primarily our management solution. Uh, Socomec Group is more than 100-year old for that matter. Can you talk about the growth prospects of the power management solutions? And what kind of sustainability factors are you seeing in your long-term prerogative?
Okay, so it's a great question to start this session. So I'll try my best because it's a very vast topic when you talk about the power management and also the industry and the growth prospect, because it's depending on the geographical point of view, segment point of view, and then the related offers and solutions and the play of the prospective companies, right? I'll try to do my best to your question because it's a great question. Now, if you look at from Socomec point of view, we identify ourselves and our customers as an expert in critical power application and power source management and application management, right? So we have seen in ourselves in the last 2 years and plus 2023, we are off to a great start. And each year has been the record year for us in the 101-year history. So that shows us that the segment that we are exposed to, the market that we are exposed to, is in a tremendous growth perspective. Now, when I speak to my industry colleagues and my friends in the industry as well, everyone doesn't see that way because some has larger portfolios, some are playing in as a generalist, and so their exposed is wider into segments and markets. So there's a slowdown in some segments, some market, and there is kind of a bit of a vulnerability of the uncertainties, maybe not because of the business per se, but because of the sentiments that is going around. And as we from Socomec is struggling to attach those sentiments into real situations, even though what is in the air is bit uncertainty. Now, if I narrow down our focus for power management industry, where we are focused, we are largely exposed to 6 market segments, which is data centers, industry, infrastructure, renewables, or we call it utility or energy as well. And of course, we are hospitals or healthcare. These are 6 market segments that we are operating to. And then also we can categorize original equipment manufacturers that is catering to this market segment is also important channel for us. Now, we see the growth in almost all these segments equally. Of course, one or the other is growing faster than the other, like data center and hospitals. Hospital has seen a great growth momentum because of the pandemic, even it's ended largely in most part of the world, but the government and local authorities had a wake-up call to see that infrastructure is not enough or it need to be digitalized. So all the other aspects, not only from healthcare, personal lives, the new way of hybrid working, all those things accelerate the digitalization agenda. It didn't bring anything new seen by me, but it accelerated the agenda because the need was accelerated. So all those elements boom in the data centers. Now, because we talk about digital cloud, all those things, which at the end of the day is data centers. So these markets are booming, and we see that it's going to be there for some time. Maybe nobody has a crystal ball, but 2 to 3 years. And let me conclude this long explanation to you, which is not only the segments, we are seeing also all across all geographies the growth. Asia Pacific, Europe, North America for Socomec. And also we see, because the energy crisis in certain geopolitical challenges that we are seeing, the renewable energies and the need for those other sources are booming. Now, rapid all those last 3-4 minutes, my explanation is calling for higher demand and need for sustainability. I'll keep it that explanation, because you may have another question attached to that. Or if you want me to continue, let me see it. But I'll stop it from here, so that audience and you don't lose me, because I took a lot of time to explain this opening question.
You talked around the growth prospects because and you talked around various crises which is actually giving an opportunity, but at the same time there are a lot of challenges, even in the power management system, and you also talked about that your equipments are actually increasing the efficiency, okay, in terms of saving the cost of the various industry. And we see that the cost is a major factor in most of the manufacturing industry. That's somewhere between even 5 to 7%, or even sometimes more, come in the kind of the revenue they actually produce. So can you talk around what kind of innovations, are you actually coming up with in your power management solutions, which is actually helping the modern needs of the industry, and how this is and also I would like to know a little more around the sustainability, a little more around the sustainability solutions which you are actually doing so as to ensure that the ESG concerns of the world is actually mitigated to a great extent.
All right. So sustainability, I start with that because you end up with that. So sustainability is for me twofold, or you can say multifold, but let me attach it to twofold, which is sustainability. You as a corporate citizen, you as an organization, what you are doing inside the organization. And then as an organization, as an innovative organization, how our solutions and our offering helps our clientele to achieve their sustainable goals. Right? So these are twofold. So, of course, you talk about important topic also about the wastages. For me, that is the most critical aspect to that we can reduce or avoid wastages that has a direct impact positively on sustainability. Because that is wastages is not benefiting anybody.
True.
Right? So you cannot
True.
reduce waste, or you cannot take control of anything if you don't know where the waste is happening. So first and foremost, you need to measure where are these wastages happening. So for that, you need to monitor your system. And this is where our innovation, our products are coming to help our clients to understand, by monitoring their electrical distribution system and their installations and their equipments, where is the consumption, and where are the, during this consumption, where are the wastages are happening, right? And then by monitoring, they can measure. And by measuring, we bring innovation into the analytic layer, by bringing the dashboards and report that is customizing, because general report is not going to help, because you, being a CEO yourself, the information you need is not the information your maintenance engineer needs, or your IT
True.
head needs, your CIO or CTO needs. And then even you are a CEO, the information you need is not the information your CFO needs. So there's a greater need to customize the dashboard, and it's there, the bits and pieces. And this is where the innovation will come more and more to help the key decision makers to have the right data at the right time, presented in a manner that they can take decisions. Right? So this is where the innovation part is coming. Now, sustainability part from our side, we are accelerating first to manufacture in Asia, rest of our offering, because we have manufacturing sites in Asia, so that we reduce the wastages on transportation, right? And then also, of course, also we would benefit from the energy crisis that we see in Europe by coming into Asia, where we will have more options to have better efficiencies in our manufacturing. Right? So these are from organization point of view. Then we of course are driving in our strategy as a key pillar sustainability to see where we work with our suppliers, with our employees as well, to leverage the various means of transportations and usages to reduce our own consumption in not only in manufacturing, but in dealing, but also as an individual and corporate citizens, how we can contribute to this very important topic, right? And then, as I told you previously, on the solution we provide to our clients, we help them by monitoring, simply by monitoring, to measure and take action. Then our other offering with bringing more efficient UPS to the market, which is to reduce the wastages of energy usage. Also, other elements that we will bring innovation to support our customers. And also, we have another innovative and a very industry reference offering, which we call STS, static transfer switch, that is to switch the power between UPS in like no time. So that's helped to reduce wastages and downtimes, so that it helps the clients to keep the systems running efficient. I can go on, but interest of time, I'll stop it here, Pankaj. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah. In fact, yeah, you did answer my question. In fact, the kind of innovation which you talked about, I'm sure this is going to help, and in fact helping many of the clients and many of the clients to come, which Socomec Group is actually serving. Uh, when we talk around innovation and growth, there is one such fact world would definitely want to know is about the kind of job creation or the opportunities, be it a direct opportunity or an indirect opportunity. And this question I'm not limiting to Socomec Group, but I'm talking about the power management solution as a sector for that matter. What is the kind of opportunities this sector is producing for people around the globe? It could be a direct or indirect employment opportunities, which definitely our viewers would like to know from you.
So starting to this, the answer to your question, which is for me, is that I hope, like me, most of the audience or anyone come to terms to accept that the fear of with digitalization, the technology, the jobs will reduce, jobs will go away, the robots, the drones, these type of things will take my job away. I think that concern, that worry should have been behind us now. Having said that,
Yeah.
it means that job is not going to go away. The type of job is going to change. I won't say drastically, but largely is going to change. But for that also, the required skills of an individual is going to change. And this is where organizations and local governments and associations, universities, education sector, everyone has to work how we could support our age population or senior population to acquire these new skills, so that they are capable to be engaged in the workforce. And being sitting in Singapore, I would say Singapore government is driving quite a lot of initiative on that, called Singapore Skill Initiative. So they are even giving for their residents, senior residents, and everyone to vouchers to go and enroll yourself to acquire this digital knowledge, new way of working, as per their wish and as per their gaps, go and take those initiatives. So that is said and done. Opportunities creating is this challenge is also creating a lot of opportunity, right? Of course, we need to have a bit of change in the way we will work, the job we need, and the skills that we need. So it's two-way as well. We have to prepare ourselves or get ourselves ready to get the opportunity of that. Now, coming to the industry as well, the digitalization drive, the sustainability drive, these things are going to create a lot of opportunities, because we never heard about sustainability ESG leader or ESG manager. We never heard these roles. We talk about digital marketing. We talk about digital leader, transformation leaders. These things we did not have in the past, right? So these are the new jobs that has evolved already. But I think that because the industry has a lot to catch up, with the not because of the competition, is to catch up because of the timeline that is coming with the pressure of the to protect our globe and keep a sustainable world for the future generation. We have to act fast. So because we need to act fast and run fast, all the corporation has to work with the people around you. Nobody can find the solution alone. We need to work with the ecosystem of partners, ecosystem of startups, ecosystem of individuals. We have to work with those one another. So that directly and indirectly is going to create so much of opportunities for everyone, right? But as an individual or as an organization, if you sit and wait without acquiring those new skills and new methodologies, it's not going to happen. So we all have to play a part of it, and then if you play a part of it, if you're ready for it, opportunities are huge.
Wonderful, Neil, because you talked about one thing, one statement, that technology is not going to replace humans. It's going to work hand in hand with humans to make our world even more beautiful. I think that's the statement of the day, and I'm sure our viewers would have taken it, the way in terms of skilling themselves, upskilling themselves, so that they could be a part of the mainstream, and the kind of opportunities you talked about in this particular sector or the business. I'm sure that's going to bring in tremendous change within the society as well. After these two, wonderful questions and some very insightful thoughts and the answers which you shared with us, we move on to our next curiosity, which is a rapid fire round. 10 questions to you, which has to be answered in one word or maximum of a sentence. Are you ready, Neil?
Yeah, let's give it a try.
So here we go. Okay, so my first question to you is your motto of your life in one statement.
Anything is possible with the right focus.
Okay, if your life was a story, what would it be titled? Title of the story based on your life.
A man with a hammer in his pocket.
Oh, nice one. I'm sure many of the creative writers would be listening to you. What is the best compliment you've ever received?
Your absence felt more than your presence.
What is the one food you would never want to give up? One food which you actually like the most, you don't want to give it up.
This one I was struggling a lot. I even asked from my wife whether what do you think, but because I like all the food, but I'll give you a shot which is chocolates.
Okay. Are you a dog person or a cat person?
Dog for sure.
Your favorite place to visit?
Golf course.
Okay. You are an optimist or a realist?
Optimist.
An advice that changed your life?
You are the only one can limit you.
You are the only one?
Can limit you.
Okay. If you could make up a holiday, what would it be named?
Lost with loved ones.
Okay. Okay, so now if you landed up in a deserted place and you can take only one thing, whatever you want, what would that thing be? And you have landed up in a deserted place, no one around.
I would say the Bible.
Okay. Okay, so some direct answers from you, 10 on 10 to you in this rapid fire round. This has been wonderful, and you've been pretty straight in sharing your thoughts. I move on to our fourth curiosity now, which is about you as a leader. Neil, if we look at the kind of journey you have been till date, it has been across various industries, and you have served across various places as well, across the globe. And while we were putting across our initial conversation, that the conversation is going to be held with you, we had some of the questions which came up in our office. I'm going to start with you directly on that. And the question was, what has actually shaped the Neil, you know, that youngsters would definitely like to know, and what is that which they can inculcate in themselves? I'll since it is a bigger question, I'll break it into two parts. So this is the first part for you.
So can you repeat again, Pankaj? There was a short breakage. Can you repeat again for me, please?
Okay. Okay. So what makes Neil a person what Neil is? So that's the question.
I would say it's curiosity because I grew up, I was born and grew up, and I had my early career in Sri Lanka, which I was born into the civil war, largely part of my life. And you have to be always curious what's next, right? So that curiosity I still carry with me, and that shaped who I am. And I think when I look back, a lot of credit goes to that curiosity.
That's wonderful. So one trait, curiosity, is something which actually shapes a human being to extend what he or she wants in his life. I move on to our actual question now, which is the last curiosity for us. Is can you talk around some of the memorable lessons which you might have got from your mentors or your colleagues or wherever you have worked, from your teachers, your parents, the society where you lived, where you brought up, and how it has shaped your leadership style?
Yeah. I can attach it to a example as well, which
Please.
when I moved in 2009 with my previous organization to China, Shanghai, I had initial bit of challenges to connect with my colleagues in China, with cultural barriers,
Mhm.
right? And the lack of understanding of the cultural differences. And I was grateful to the organization because they believed me and trusted in me, which I still today carry. A big part of my management style is to develop people, invest in people, because I'm a personally, I got benefited as a youngster. So they put me on to a mentor, a senior leader, to see that how they can help me to overcome this challenge that I had in my early part of my career. Because I was 31, 32 when I moved to Shanghai. What I learned from him, being a very successful, highly regarded, respected leader, is was so humble. He was so humble, and he didn't hold anything back to share with me his knowledge. He went beyond the topic, and he saw probably into the second or the third session of mentorship that was a greater potential in me, and more than what the organization asked to shape me, he took me beyond that and large part of that, and shared his experience. So my takeaway, what I applied, is that be humble and never hold to share what you know with others, and don't limit to a certain box. Go beyond, and if you can help anyone to discover their full potential by associating you, do it. And that's something that I really cherish, and I see I enjoyed, and I have been benefited.
So you talked about being humble, being helpful, and embracing curiosity to the extent possible to grow in life, and that's what your mantra is and your leadership style is. Neil, this has been really insightful knowing things from you, and the kind of wisdom which you have shared around the industry and the kind of opportunities it has. I'm sure it's going to go a long way with our viewers. Must have enjoyed this particular interaction, and thank you so much for being a part of VYAPT Growth Series.
Thank you, and thanks for the opportunity again, Pankaj. And it was a pleasure, and I really enjoyed. And well done for keeping the questions simple but relevant, and really enjoyed myself as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.